Thanks for clicking. My name is Mark Mitchell. I'm a mortgage broker here in London, Ontario. It looks like yesterday we had our first, what I hope was a gaffe out of the three political parties. When asked what he thought about expanding the Bank of Canada's mandate, Prime Minister Trudeau on the campaign trail said that he doesn't think about monetary policy right now.
It's for inflation.
I don't know. When I think about the biggest, most important economic policy this government, if re-elected, would move forward, you'll forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy.
You don't think about monetary policy? Well, you should. That's been the main focus of throughout the year of all of the banks, and everyone's screaming about affordable housing. There's been numerous headlines, which I'm going to insert into this video after I shoot it, saying that interest rates are to blame for the skyrocketing housing market and the affordability crisis. I haven't even done the research prior to shooting this video. I just know they'll be there. The reason why I'm calling it a gaffe is I don't think the Prime Minister meant that. What I think he meant to say was that he's got so much else to focus on right now, and he is focused on monetary policy, whether or not he said it. Whether or not he's admitting it on the campaign trail. When he talks about the affordability crisis, he's talking about monetary policy, or real estate, or jobs. All of that are directly related to monetary policy. So what I want to go over is why he was asked about monetary policy, why he said he's not focused on it, and where we go from here. The Prime Minister was asked whether or not they had thought of giving the Bank of Canada extended powers or some leeway in allowing inflation to go higher than its mandate. The Bank of Canada's mandate right now is to shoot for a 2 to 3% inflation, and it came out yesterday that it had hit 3.7%. As we've gone through on this channel before, there have been growing a number of calls for the Bank of Canada's mandate to be expanded to be closer to that of the Federal Reserve, where it not only looks after inflation, but also looks at full employment as well. Right now, its goal is just inflation. So the government sets the goal, the Bank of Canada uses its various levers to meet that goal. What the bank is doing right now is it wants to let inflation run hot so as to get the employment up, to try to get us back to full employment. So it's allowing inflation to run a little bit hotter. But the main problem with this is they don't have that mandate right now. The government has only told them to look after inflation. So the Bank of Canada is kind of expanding its powers, expanding its role, with no elected legislation to giving it that leeway to do so. So that's what the reporter was asking. Prime Minister Trudeau didn't necessarily answer the question properly, because when he does talk about inflation and he talks about affordability and real estate and mortgages, and jobs, and business, and development, everything has to do with monetary policy. That's been one of the biggest issues this year, is that the Bank of Canada can't raise rates to cool down the housing market, as it's going to cool everything else down as well. You don't raise rates when you have 10% employment, because that's going to stifle business investment. And the Prime Minister knows this, and so does the Bank of Canada. So I don't think he meant it when he said that he doesn't think about monetary policy. Yes, he does. What I think he meant was he doesn't want to get into the debate right now between what the mandate of the central bank is. Because it doesn't make for good headlines. It's probably not going to be discussed what the mandate of our central bank is. It's just not a widely popular political issue. It's not that it's unpopular as to what the mandate should be, but it's not something that's widely talked about, I suppose I should say. So I don't think he meant that when he said that he doesn't think about monetary policy. Going forward, I would assume he's going to, if this becomes a bigger issue, that he doesn't think about the interest rates, because I would assume that the other two political parties are going to seize on this opportunity, because there was a big gaffe. As we've seen house prices skyrocket and people continue to be without jobs, interest rates and monetary policy and full employment is obviously a big deal. So I'm going to guess that they will come out with a new policy aimed at shifting the conversation vis-a-vis monetary policy. Not maybe addressing what he said directly, but something to change the conversation over to something else, to something that doesn't maybe sound so bad, because that was a big gaffe, and it doesn't sound good that you don't think about monetary policy at a time like this. You should always think about it, but I mean especially now. If you like this video, please do click like and subscribe. We'll have more updates as they come out. If he does come out with another policy to sort of shift the conversation, or if this does become a much bigger conversation as this political campaign unfolds. I don't think the role of the Bank of Canada and the central bank are going to be a major issue, at least not directly. But time will tell, and if we have more responses out or changes, then we'll have more videos on those. Thank you.